Awesome. What is going on, guys? My name is Keith Lamont Parker-Emerson Jr. That's Sarah Swank, and this is another episode of Eat It Up. Today's episode is called Get the Picture. Duh. I know you guys heard that back in the day. If you're a millennial or maybe you're Gen Z or X or Y or I don't know. You guys have heard that. So, with that being said, today I have four questions for Miss Swank about macros. If you don't know what a macro is, Sarah, break it down for us. Let us know what macronutrients are.
Sure. So macronutrients are the big food groups you're eating. They are protein, fat, and carbs. And this is going to be most of your food. The food also has micronutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, but unless you have some specific health problems, you're typically not paying attention to those. You're focused mostly on those macronutrients. Macro because they're big,
Mm, okay.
micro small.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Cool. So the four questions that I have for you today, Sarah, are what is a macronutrient, which you just broke down a little bit for us, but I'm definitely going to bring this week a biblical and exoteric perspective that we can talk about to expand our points of view when talking about macronutrients. My second question for you is what functions do each macronutrient support? My third question is how should our plates look? And we mentioned this briefly last time we talked, but how should our plates look based on this information that we're talking about? And for our fourth and final question, where can we find more information about macronutrients to help you all with meal planning? All right. Sarah, let's go back to our first question.
Yeah.
What is a macronutrient? And if you want to just break down each individual a little bit more for our audience to have a better understanding, I think that'd be dope.
Yeah, so I'm gonna combine questions one and two together because I mean they go
Ah.
together. Yeah, right. Look at me being, good with that, combining things. So yeah, the three main macronutrients, which is how food gets their calories,
Okay.
are gonna be fat, protein, and carbs. And they
Cool.
all serve very important functions in the body. Carbs are the body's main source of energy.
Mm.
There are complex carbohydrates and simple carbohydrates, but they both work primarily to fuel the body for whatever it is you're doing. And that includes your brain. So, carbs are important for multiple reasons. They are how you're going to get through your day. Um, and then there's protein. Everyone, listen, protein's been the biggest hype for like ever now. So like if you haven't heard of protein as a micronutrient, you just living with your head under the sand at this point. Um, it's but for good reason because it's important.
Yeah.
It's gonna help with muscle repair, tissue repair, muscle growth. I mean, it's hyped up for a reason. It's how you're going to start to see those results from the gym. Because if you're working out, cool, great. It's not gonna do anything for you if you're eating like crap and you're not getting enough protein.
That's
So
what
yeah, like, and that means that I still struggle with it a little bit. So, because, and we'll get into this later, it's
yeah.
typically recommended that you have 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight.
Mm. Yeah.
That's so much protein, dude. That's
That's a
so
lot.
much protein. Like, because, your girl doesn't weigh like a small amount. That's a lot of protein I'm trying to get in. Like legitimately.
That is
But
hilarious.
I
Yeah,
just, if
not
we're
a
being
small
honest here,
yeah.
but yeah, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And then last thing is your fats.
Mm,
Fats are the most calorie dense macronutrient, which is
yeah.
very interesting. If I remember correctly, and don't quote me on it because I learned this like a while ago and I could be wrong. There is like 3 calories per gram, or per carbohydrate gram and 1 protein gram, and then there's like 9 calories per 1 gram of fat. So it is definitely definitely the most dense. Why are you laughing at me?
um, I believe, and I'm gonna correct her, guys.
Please do.
Number. It's 4 4.
4 4.
Yeah, 9.
449. Okay.
You
Thank
got
you.
that.
Like I said, I
Yeah,
learned it a hot minute ago.
yeah,
Um,
4 4 9.
but
But yeah,
fats are going to be very helpful for hormone health, for the
yes.
brain, for all that good stuff for your nervous system. So, yes, make sure you are eating enough fats with your protein.
Mm,
Protein's
all
hyped
for
up for sure, but you still need to be eating fats and carbohydrates. And listen, I know that like the low carb diets are popular and
it.
everything. It may work for some if you're a woman, specifically a woman pre-menopause, like before that
Mm,
age, your body needs carbs
yes.
to safely go through your cycle.
Come on. Come freaking on. Pause. But yes, yes.
So eat them
Um,
carbs. I
yeah,
do, for sure.
absolutely. And I think women aren't being educated on how to eat during their cycle, how to eat really during a month, because your guys' bodies changes over a month period of time. It's really connected to the moon. It's like 28 days is a very, very powerful number for women. So, women, please become aware that your body is in a cycle that is more than just physical. It's very esoteric, very spiritual, because it does align with how our moon is circling around this earth, going around the sun. It's
I
it's pretty dope.
I could do a whole episode just on that, like me
It's
just
so cool.
rambling about like cycle syncing. Like it's fascinating the changes that your body goes through just in those 4 phases of a cycle, and it's month
Yeah.
after month. Meanwhile, y'all men, your hormones stay relatively the same day after day. What is that like?
Uh,
Because ugh,
it's it's nice, but can become tedious, tiring, and monotonous when it's done in a routine that's mundane without
yeah,
any like abrupt changes. So that's why you see men, um, a lot of men, they will do like an identity shift. Something will change subtly, and you'll notice, you'll be like, what the heck? Why are you doing that? It's because they were in a routine for a very long time and needed this abrupt change in order to
okay.
get out of that routine, and feel, or really internally, something new happened in them, chemically, internally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, that needed to be expressed physically. So
Oh.
yeah, where your guys' is monthly, it's just like eventually the man breaks and then he's like, okay, I need to change something.
Honestly, like I want just 1 month where it's just steady, consistent every day. That'd be I would be very curious as to what that feels like, but I also recognize that that's like not possible for me. So just trying to go with the flow, just trying to get through it month after month, man.
Yeah, you made an awesome point, Sarah. Carbs are not the bad guy. I think we just have to have a better understanding, guys, on how to consume carbs along with protein and fats appropriately. Again, she had mentioned briefly that each of them are a representation of energy, which is put into the form of a calorie. 4, 4, 9, 4 being carbohydrates, proteins, 9 being your fats. So when you're trying to discern, and we'll talk more about this again, but when you're trying to discern whether or not you want to lose weight, maintain weight, or gain weight, you'll adjust your calorie or the amount of protein, energy, carbohydrate energy, fat energy that you're consuming to either be in a deficit, to either be maintaining, or to be in a calorie surplus. So having that general understanding what Sarah was trying to break down is going to allow for you again to then answer question 3 is how do I form a plate? What is my plate going to look like based on my goal? And how do I design this plate? So what I want to do before we hop on question 2, question 3, question 4, because I think I like the flow of this. We're just grabbing hold of everything and going with it. Let me just bring into perspective our biblical and esoteric definitions for this week so our audience has a wide view of things. And then I also, too, I want to tell a story. Um, I'm sure you've heard this. Sarah just briefly mentioned to me that she grew up in the church. I grew up in the church as well. But if you have grown up in the church, you know that everybody says the path is straight and narrow, right? The path to Christ, to God, to salvation is straight and narrow. The path to success, for this instance in the story that I'm about to give to you all, is straight and narrow. It is not broad, big, big, broad, and wide. So I'm at work, and my coworker is maneuvering between aisles, and the path is very narrow. She's not a big lady, but she's not a small lady either. She's 5'2", but she's wide. She got them hips. So yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. You know.
Yeah, I get it. I do.
She got them hips. So she bumped into one of the shelves in the aisle, and she had to make it broad and wide. And she said, "These paths are just too narrow." Long story short, yeah, this is heavy. Oh my
Mm.
God. Yes, these paths are just too narrow. She's older lady. And the moral of the story is that if my coworker simply was just watching, she would have seen that she could fit on the path that was straight and narrow. But because she was not watching, she ran directly into the shelf and then was determined to broaden the path because she couldn't fit through, because she wasn't watching. How does this relate? This relates to you guys eating your food, watching what you eat. The path is very narrow for you to be physically fit. I'm sorry. I know you want me to tell you you can go supersize it.
I wish.
I wish. I know you want me to tell you you can have seconds and thirds. I know you want me to tell you. Pizza every day is acceptable. Do it. I know you want me to tell you that you can eat dairy and you can eat fried chicken and you can have all the soul food, biscuits, rolls, all of it. I know you want me to tell you that. But that is the broad and wide. The straight and narrow path is you watching what you eat, getting this information from Sarah and I, watching what you eat, watching us, then watching what you eat because we gave you the information. So, um, I'm gonna bring into perspective this word, and I think it's going to open our eyes to continue to watch what we're doing so we can have better success when it comes to our fitness and nutrition. So, the biblical outlook in Genesis chapter 1, verses 29, and this is very similar to what I stated in the first episode. God provides humanity with this scripture every seed bearing plant for food. This reflects the importance of sustenance designed to nourish and sustain life. Macronutrients are the building blocks God wove into creation to fulfill this purpose. It's lit, guys.
Oh, my bad.
Sarah is teed up. Oh my gosh. Get the picture, guys. It
My
cannot,
bad.
it cannot get more lit than this. In our esoteric outlook for question one, macronutrients symbolize the trinity of physical vitality: energy, carbs; structure, protein; and life force, fats. Esoterically, they mirror the threefold nature of man: mind, body, or excuse me, body, soul, and spirit, each dependent on balance and harmony for wholeness. So, and I'm gonna go. Um, I was about to say mind, body, and spirit, but in my notes I have body, soul, and spirit because soul is your mind, will, and emotions. Okay. I
I
just
like
wanted
that.
I just wanted to give you guys that because that can be very confusing. Um, and I did not have an understanding until actually somebody in the church explained that to me, that your soul is your mind, will, and emotions. Spirit is an entity because there are different spirits that operate in this realm: light, dark, and then our body is a physical vessel or container for all of the things happening in those two realms. So, with both of those definitions and outlook, I really, I think they support each other, honestly, very
Great.
well. And I think it actually makes our view of food expansive. I love right here in the esoteric that it symbolizes a trinity of physical vitality, where your carbs, as Sarah mentioned in the beginning, are energy. Your protein actually is the foundation of structure. Every single last process in our body requires protein in order for it to begin.
Think of protein as like the logs for the fire that carbs create. Like,
I love
yeah.
that. I love that analogy. I love that analogy. And then your fats being the life force, because actually, our body will do anything, guys, to literally store the amount of fat on it that it needs to function at its most optimal level. So when you find yourself stuck at a set point for this long time, or your body actually going up in body fat, it's your body sadly adjusting to the climate and culture and condition that your vessel lives in, and it's saying your vessel requires this amount of body fat in order to be most optimal and function, and so it doesn't die on us.
Which also, gentle reminder that
Crazy.
women need a slightly higher body fat percentage, but
Oh my
that's
God. Say that.
just,
Oh,
I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
oh. I I want to get into this conversation with you because you are a more curvier woman. So, and it has been hard for you. I don't think you, and you mentioned it briefly, but you can correct me if I'm wrong, necessarily accepted yourself your whole entire life as this way.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's been an ongoing challenge. It still is an ongoing challenge, but yeah, women need more body fat than men because our bodies are capable of growing and creating humans. Not this body. I don't want that for me, but my body is capable of that. Listen,
I love it.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying, yes, women's bodies do a lot of hard work and they need a bit more body fat. That's just the way that it is. But yes, it is very hard to accept sometimes, especially when the fat is accumulated in the lower half. And so for me, it's like everything below my belly button and like a lot of women, I have that like little lower belly pouch, that as I
yeah.
call it.
I
And
love
like
it. Oh
I
my
it's been
God.
so hard to accept. Like I don't mind my lower half now, but like that little section
Yeah,
can
when you
go to
sit
hell.
down and yeah,
Can
whatever.
go to hell. I like
Y'all all have it too. It's everybody has it, honestly. Men, women. If you sit down, you have it.
I stand up and she's still there. What are you talking about?
So you're funny because you eat good and you better stop playing with it. You eat good. You eat good, girl. You
Listen,
don't eat like a rabbit.
absolutely not.
I'm about to eat these steak and eggs, Keith, today and tomorrow and
Dude,
the next
that was a solid week of
day.
steak and eggs for breakfast. Like I had
Oh,
steak and egg tacos, I had steak and eggs. Like it was amazing. And now I'm doing this like low histamine nonsense.
yeah, exactly. So
Oh
that's
my
what I'm
God.
saying. It's just like you eat hearty, whole foods that are fulfilling.
Yes,
The chances of you, and you love food. You don't just like food. You don't just eat. Exactly. Look at all these food tattoos. She don't just eat to make her feel full and go about her
absolutely
day.
not.
He's enjoying the experience. And that's where a lot of your relationships with food and how you look is going to differ. Because honestly, the mass majority of people are comfortable with the way they look because they love their relationship with food enough not to sacrifice eating the things that they do truly enjoy. And then you have that person who's willing to give up the things that they enjoy for a look, a physical look.
I miss dairy so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I can't tell you how many times I just want to sit down and eat a string cheese.
Ah,
But I feel so much better. Aside from this histamine flare up, I feel so much better.
mm.
Like, yeah.
Can I ask you this? And
Sure.
we can, and I love it because you're up to test. Um, what about eating probiotic safe dairies and maybe limiting lactose for yourself? Because one thing that I have noticed with you is because
Mm-hmm.
you can get away with a fuller diet. Maybe it's not dairy causing inflammation. Maybe it's stress. Maybe it's what you got, all the other things, and then diet because you have this beautiful relationship with it. It's your crutch. So that's why your mind first goes to what has to be because of what I'm eating instead of being all the external things surrounding that.
So it's ironic that you bring that up. And first, let me say, I am definitely willing to do that after graduation next week. Because let me tell you what, I've been working so hard to look so good for graduation, and then all this happened, but that's life. But yeah, during this histamine flare up, part of my issue, also apologies if you can hear my cat's toy in the background. But part of this histamine issue is because histamine is related to your nervous system. Um, it's very highly related to stress.
Yeah.
It's kind of my body's way of telling me, hey, you're doing too much with too little, which is 100% true. My sleep schedule has been like,
Mhm.
and then my stress levels in general are not exactly low.
Yeah.
So you are definitely on to something. It's definitely stress related. You and I talked about it. I'm working hard to shift my nervous system into that rest and digest
Mhm.
mode instead of fight or flight,
Yeah.
which is easier said than done, but still working hard to get there. So yes, I am more than willing to do that. Um, First I got to get through graduation, and then I got to figure out how to have less things to stress about.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
mm,
Um, yeah. 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 I love that for you.
what part of it? Because I
um,
don't.
the part where you just said, um, you'll have less things to stress about. It's coming. It will happen. Yeah. Don't be crossing your fingers now.
It will. I know.
It
I
will
meant
happen.
to tell you I turned down job offers this week, and
Mhm.
I did. Yes. Which would have reduced a lot of stress, but also brought on a different level of stress, like just in a different way. So good things are coming. They are. I trust that they
Yeah.
are. But
Very good.
sitting back and letting them happen is like the hardest thing ever.
Yeah, we want control. And I think the cool thing about what we do, talking about food, you have control over your plate. Let's get into that second question and just sew everything up real quick. What are the functions of each macronutrient and how do they support our bodies? Sarah mentioned carbohydrates provide quick energy depending on whether or not it's a simple or complex carbohydrate. And we use it for brain function as well as muscle function. Proteins support tissue repair, muscle growth, immune response, and enzyme production. Fats support our brain health, hormone production. Oh my gosh, this is so important. Hormone production and long-term energy storage. Okay. Um, I just want to touch hormone production briefly because this is what we're talking about. A lot of what Sarah is dealing with, a lot of what we all are dealing with has to do with our hormones and how they're functioning in our body in response to the food that we are consuming. So this is where you become experimental in trying different foods and seeing how your body responds in order to self-diagnose essentially mm, the inflammation you're struggling with. Because I do believe one disease is inflammation, and then the rest are symptoms of this disease. The cause is inflammation, though, from you consuming something through your skin, through your mouth, any way you consume it. You digest it, ingest it. It is an expression on the outside. So we want to make sure that we're getting the appropriate amount of fats, especially our vegans, vegetarians, people who are not consuming protein from a uh, meat source.
Animal source, yeah.
Animal, yes, that's what I was looking for. Animal source. You know exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, animal source. Uh, please see a doctor and make sure that you are consuming the amount of protein that your body needs to function at its most optimal level, or you're going to have health issues. For example, for myself, as a vegetarian, I struggled with erectile dysfunction because I was not consuming enough protein, which caused my body in particularly to stop functioning. It was horrible.
I bet.
My man didn't work. So please, men.
I'm sorry.
I know, no. It's like you get to the happy part and you're like,
But wait. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
exactly. But wait, there is
Oh my god.
there is no more.
The opposite of Billy Mays. I just drooled a little bit. Oh my
Yeah, it was so funny. Yeah, yeah. So
god.
this is my life. These are my stories, and I'm thankful for you guys so you can hear them. And yeah, so I called my dad. I'm like, "Yo, something's not working here," and he's like, "Well, son, genetically, um, that's something that I've struggled with personally. Are you eating protein? Are you eating meat?" I said, "No, I'm not. Have a chicken breast." What? Really? That's it? That night, I immediately ate some chicken. Voila. Cured.
I'm sorry. I feel bad. What a terrible situation. Just the way you're describing it. Too good.
Cured. So, now for ladies, I don't necessarily know how lack of protein, lack of fat is expressed. I don't know if you've ever experienced that as well, Sarah, or can talk about that. But let us do some more research on that so that we can talk to you guys about it as well. Um, or if we run into somebody who's had an experience, we'll definitely open up the door of opportunity for them to talk to you guys directly about experiencing that. So please make sure you're consuming fats, proteins, carbohydrates.
And
Now,
fiber, which is not a micro or macronutrient, but still important.
yes, very important. From the Bible, it says in Exodus chapter 16, God gives manna from heaven, a complete food source sustaining the Israelites. each macronutrient has its divine purpose. Just as manna serves physical and spiritual nourishment, so does so must our daily bread. The esoteric outlook. Each macro corresponds with a chakra or energetic system. So carbs are connected to our solar plexus, willpower, energy. Protein is connected to the root chakra, strength, stability. Fats are connected to the sacral chakra, creativity, flow. Balancing them aligns the body's energy and spiritual resonance. Very cool. Um, very cool.
That is, I want to go to another sound bath. Sorry, we started talking about chakras and now I'm like in my
Yeah.
hippie mode.
Yeah. If you haven't already done so, hit that like button, comment below this video. Also, to maybe I will drop in the description of this video a sound bath that Sarah listens to, if you guys are into that. And I'll also drop a link to my own personal playlist where I am literally doing a mantra affirmation over a sound bath that I encourage you to listen to and meditate to. So check that out in the description below. Join our email list if you haven't already done so. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff.
Please.
Please. For our third question, how should our plates look based on this information?
So we talked about that in our last one, and not much has changed really. You're still wanting half your plate to be non-starchy veg, so
Mm,
your cruciferous veggies, your bell peppers, your leafy greens, that kind of deal. You still definitely want to get those because you also, in addition to those macronutrients, you do want the micronutrients too that come
mm,
from all those good veggies. Um, and the fiber. You know, I love the fiber. Um, so half your
no
plate
problem.
needs to be non-starchy veg. I've really been enjoying carrots lately.
Yeah.
Yes, I just discovered this year that I like carrots, which is, yeah, I've been expanding the vegetable horizons this year, which I know is good for me, but yeah, like carrots, cabbage, and cucumbers all this year I've discovered I
Oh,
liked. It's
wow. Yeah.
right, which is weird because you know what I liked before?
Would you like?
Cauliflower and Brussels sprouts, but I
Did
didn't
you?
but I didn't like carrots or cucumbers.
Interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting because usually it's the
Makes
opposite.
sense,
Yes,
right?
it really is the opposite. Like most people come up eating what you just said, the carrots, cauliflower, or excuse me, the carrots, cucumber, broccoli,
Cabbage.
cabbage. Yeah, and then I think it's an acquired taste, cauliflower, broccoli, um, Brussels sprouts. I I love them too, but it's definitely asparagus. I think it's
Ooh.
as I've matured, I'm able
Yes.
to eat those types of vegetables, and maybe it's because they're more bitter. Um, and they have a very unique taste, uh, where a lot of greens just taste like water, or they talk about it.
Listen, for the which also I want to know, my favorite veggie is actually green beans. Love them suckers.
Yeah.
But I love Brussels sprouts too. I make this like honey soy glaze to go over top. I knocked my glasses off. I got so excited.
Oh, let's
Um,
do it. Let's do that one.
lettuce though,
No.
listen, I also like within the last year or so started liking it because I didn't see the point of a salad
Yeah.
Because why am I eating lettuce that tastes like nothing and is
Yes.
crunchy? If I wanted that, I'd chew on an ice cube. Like what?
Sparkling
But
water.
then I started making my own salads and adding stuff. And listen, I know you're sick of me talking about steak. Steak salad,
Yes.
game changer. Absolute game changer. And I've been making my own dressings. Oh my God.
Yeah. Sarah's a
So
superstar, guys.
good.
Please, please join our email list because all these recipes she's sending you guys. What? What? What?
Yes.
Please. So please join our email list.
Yes.
Hesitate to
But
do. Yes. So my question for you, Sarah, is hot meat or cold meat on your salad?
depends on the salad, honestly.
Mm.
If it's like a chef salad, obviously cold. But if
Mm.
it's like a steak salad, like I ain't trying to eat cold steak. That's bleh. Um, so it depends on the salad, truly.
Okay.
Depends on the vibe. If I'm doing, like I said, a steak salad, if it's cold steak, it's gonna be gross.
I
Um, yeah, but like a chef salad with, some not hot meat, cold meat. Um, like if that makes sense. I don't know how else to describe it because like when I think of a chef salad, I think of like ham or
Yeah.
turkey or
Ham,
pepperoni.
olives, pepperoni, um, cheese, you know, pepper.
Listen, I
Yeah.
can't do the olives. I
No,
can't do them. No.
really?
I
Well,
don't know what it is. It's weird. Ask me next year. I'll probably like them. So we'll see.
it's an acquired taste because I didn't like olives until I actually started baking, and we had an olive bread at the bakery,
Okay.
so I would eat them occasionally, and I was just like, okay, I see why people like these. It's
Maybe I'll give them a whirl again. We'll see.
salt, the salt. If you like salt, they add that to whatever. And then also, um, you're ever eating a roll, some bread, what you can do, Sarah, is take an olive, put it on a roll, a piece of bread with some butter. Um, if you have cream cheese, cream cheese. If you don't, that's okay. And
I feel like the cream cheese would automatically make it good, man.
yo,
Listen,
it takes it to that way out there, but I know the no dairy. Just do the butter. Just do the roll. Throw a little
butter's
olive on
still
there.
dairy.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I don't
Um,
even do butter anymore.
what's that stuff called? Do you do tallow or anything like that? Is it oil?
I do if I'm like cooking things or typically just avocado oil or olive oil, depending on how hot I'm cooking things.
Hmm.
Um, but I've been loving some olive oil. I made a nice I've been making some good vinaigrettes lately with some olive oil and like red wine vinegar.
Mm.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then do it with olive oil and throw an olive on there too. You'll enjoy it.
try it. I will. I'll report back.
Thank you.
Of course,
Uh,
of course.
so now we know that our plate is going to look similar. I'm going to give our audience a few percentages here that I have written in my notes, as well as the biblical and esoteric. Like Sarah said, 50% carbohydrates, 25 to 30% your lean meat, 20 to 30% your healthy fats. That's what your plate's going to look like, guys. Now, it's going to vary person to person. I find myself eating more. I still do consume dairy, and uh, but I'm a lot more intermittent with eating dairy. Does that make sense? Where
Yeah.
sometimes no, sometimes no. Um, So I would say my diet is predominantly protein and fats and a lot less carbohydrates. And I do find myself though carb loading around my exercise. So I actually have programmed my nutrition to eat my larger meals 5 to 6 hours prior to exercising with
Smart.
carbs so that I know I'm going to have a great workout and have awesome output and not get tired during the workout because I didn't consume carbs or I came in fasted. That's one thing that I do notice that even though you could potentially, I don't know if there's enough research yet that suggests that fasted cardio burns more fat than fed, but that you could potentially burn more fat fasted than fed. I've seen personally with experience that a workout fasted versus a workout with carbohydrates or having carbs in my system, two different workouts. And the one with carbs is 100 times better and 100 times more fulfilling. You can get the extra reps. You can get the extra set. You can do the sets that you have planned. Sometimes when I go in there fasted, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not even halfway through the workout. I'm about to pass out.
And all, like, especially,
Yeah,
listen, I'm gonna go back to this whole woman thing.
yeah.
But for women too, it messes up your nervous system and your hormones
Mm.
so much to do fasted workouts.
Wow.
Yeah, so yes, I agree with Keith. Eat before your workouts.
Please, 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 please. Pre-workout nutrition is something that I wish there was more studies done on, but I think from both of our experiences and what we see in the fitness industry, um, you can look at any influencer, any teacher, any document, any information that is out, and you're going to see that people see great results. There's a great response to consuming food, um, whatever the window is prior to you exercising versus you going in there fasting. So think about that. Um, Also, hey, you're fine. Also, with what we got going, I think for women, your plate is going to look drastically different than what a man's plate looks like because you're a woman versus a man. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to stop you right there
Yeah.
because there were a lot of times I was with my ex, like out to eat, and people would get our orders, like the waiter would get our orders mixed up and think that
Really?
what I got was what he was getting. Yes. So it
Wow.
depends on the person. Well, yeah, because I'm the one getting steak and eggs for breakfast, like, and he's getting an omelet, you know? So like it does depend on the person. But yes, women's plates are somewhat different. They don't have to be.
Absolutely. Okay.
Um, eat your food. Eat your food. Eat for your body. Fuel your body. But yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm so with that. And I'm glad you said that. Um, I really hope you feel comfortable speaking for the curvier women, the women who are, and I don't know how much you weigh. I'm gonna guess closer to 150.
I'm
Yeah.
over 150, dude.
Like, what do you, if you don't mind me asking, like 160?
Last time I weighed myself, yes, I think so. I don't own a scale.
Yeah,
Um, because I don't want to obsess over weight because weight truly isn't everything, you
yeah,
know? Last time I checked it was 160. Um,
yeah.
yeah, that's where my body's at.
Guys, she's not fat at all. But a woman, like yourself in a very different state of mind, looking at this scale at 160, would lose her flipping mind.
And honestly, like 5 years ago, I would have too.
Yeah.
Like I would have, but like now it's like, okay, this is my body because like I like the shape of my body now. Like I'm accepting of it now. And I know that a good portion of it is mostly muscle, you know?
Yeah.
So, no.
They're strong guys, I think. No, I'm
Listen, listen.
saying.
Remind me to show you the tree limb that fell by my car and I had to move it so that way I could get out of the driveway. And like no one was home. So I'm like, all right, I got to do this myself. So moved the limb. Like
Man, handle that lamb.
I did too. Like I had to maneuver it, but like I moved that
She threw
limb.
it over her car, guys. I'm not
I wish. No,
kidding.
I'm finally starting to get like upper body strength, which is crazy because I've never had that.
Hey, show them guns again. I think show you had that little look at
Little something, a little something. That's about the most it's ever been to. Um, but like my lower half is definitely significantly stronger than the rest of me. But yeah, I like to think I have some muscle.
yeah, you do. So yes, guys. And gals, be okay with how your plate looks and try not to compare what you got on your plate versus what they may have on theirs. Because again, like Sarah just mentioned, she has to feed herself. She has to feed herself what she needs for her body type. And I have to feed myself for what I need for my body type. And you got to feed yourself for what you need for your body type. There's just going to be general advice thrown all over the television, phone, media screen. But it's up to you to pick and pull the pieces and the bits of information that resound, resonate with you and put it together so you can get the best results. Our
Take what you
last,
need, leave the rest.
come on, I love that. I love, the tarot readers say that all the time.
That's exactly where I get it from, yep. Because you know,
They say that all the
my
time.
little hippie spiritual self.
Yeah, I love it.
Hmm.
I love it. Take what you need, leave the rest behind. And our last question. Where can we find more information about macronutrients to help nutrition plan?
So there are a few fairly reputable like macronutrient calculators out there on the internet.
Mm,
The probably most popular, or at least it was years ago, is If It Fits Your Macros. I feel like everybody's heard of that.
yeah.
Especially like I said, 5 years ago, people, if it fits your macros. That being said, just because it fits your macros doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you. Because
Mm,
I mean, you could splurge and get like a donut and then do the rest of your day around that donut. That doesn't mean that donut's fantastic for you. Definitely
mm,
treat yourself. Do not restrict, but
yes.
that doesn't mean that you should be eating, a donut every day because it fits your macros. Um, but they have a fairly reputable macronutrient calculator on their website. I have used it in the past. I don't really count my macros anymore. Aside from protein, I just try to make sure I can get as much as I can, as close to that 1 gram per pound of body weight, because 160 grams of protein a day. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
It's a lot
Um, which
for a
is
woman's
why I was
body.
eating steak every day because a 5-ounce petite sirloin steak is 30 grams of protein and like 200 calories.
Oh wow.
So,
That's
yeah,
awesome. Awesome macros.
fantastic macros. And you pair that with like 2 eggs and like some carbs in there. Oh my God.
Wow, 500, 600 calories. Yeah,
If that, like, and it, oh my God, such a good breakfast. I could
very good.
write sonnets about that, but it's whatever. But if it fits your macros is a good listen. It's true. You know me, I love
Yeah, yeah, you
food.
could, you could. That's
Y'all are gonna be sick about hearing about this low histamine thing I'm doing right now, but like I can't eat nothing good. It's devastating.
so.
Um,
Quick rundown. What are you eating then?
so right now it's mainly so I have to prepare meals fresh because the longer food sits, the more histamine it produces.
Mm,
So mostly bone broth rice. Like I'll cook rice and bone broth grits for breakfast, which have been really good with some poached eggs because poaching is a more gentle way of cooking them. So a lot of bone broth grits and poached eggs. That being said, you know me, I gotta add some flavor. So I've been
wow.
doing some olive oil on top, some rosemary and a little bit of sea salt, which helps so much.
On the grits.
Um, on
Okay.
yes, on the grits and the eggs. It's good.
Yeah, no, you putting the eggs on top of the grits or vice versa.
Putting the grits on top of the eggs so that way I can just cut into that egg a little bit and the yolk kind of runs out and gets with the oil and the grits.
Go ahead,
Fantastic.
do that.
Fantastic. But I've been eating a lot of that, and then I've been eating a lot of lean protein like chicken drumsticks, which aren't necessarily the leanest, but they do have a good amount of fat too, which is what
Yeah.
I'm going for. But I had to be careful about like what seasonings and sauces, and that's been challenging because I'm a saucy girl. Um, so yeah. And then a lot of like baked potatoes and roasted sweet potatoes.
Okay.
It's really a lot of the low histamine stuff is just utilizing food as its natural source, like in its natural source instead of adding
Mm,
a bunch of stuff to it.
okay.
Which yeah, is great for your nervous system, but my God, dude, I miss food.
Mm,
I miss the flavor, but
yeah. So let me ask you this then. Great for your nervous system, but
mhm.
are you stressed about the food?
So I definitely was the first couple of days because I didn't know what I was doing and I was worried. I'm just like, okay, is this gonna make it worse? Is this gonna like aggravate things? Because I mean, I have like a patch of like um I don't even know how to describe it, but like histamine flare up going down my leg, like these patchy, itchy spots. So like I was really
Really?
worried that, yeah. So like I was really worried that I would do something to aggravate it, especially with like
Mm,
how much stuff I have going on just this week alone. I mean, I have, pictures tomorrow and I'm like, oh, you're gonna be able to see that. Um, but now that I am more in the rhythm of it,
mm,
and like I can trust my food judgment a little more.
mm.
It's been
Excuse me.
you're good, trust me, I get it. It's been a lot easier and a lot less stressful and especially because I've been repeating a lot of the same meals like
Mm,
bone broth grits and poached eggs for breakfast about every morning. I meal prepped a steak. I wouldn't say meal prep. I made a steak the other day and I froze the leftovers because that stops the histamine formation. So I've been just thawing those out gently and having them for a meal. So it's
okay.
it's definitely gotten a lot easier. It's gotten a lot less stressful. Um, and I mean, we talked about it before this. Like I had that huge moment of clarity today where it was just
Yeah,
like washing over me. So like it's definitely working for sure.
very, very
But yes, if it fits your macros, sorry, completely off topic. If it fits your macros, that's a really good one. And then there's this other podcast on Apple Podcasts. I think they're also on Spotify, which not to take attention away from ours, I think we're fantastic.
good.
But it's called Fitness People for or Fitness Stuff for Normal People, and they have a protein calculator on their website. And that one's another good one too. I don't know how accurate that one is though. So my recommendation is sticking with if it fits your macros or talking to a nutritionist if you can afford one. But it's that's more of a luxury, honestly.
It
So
is, no. It is.
yeah.
Yeah. Guys, there you have it. We made a plate for you. It's delicious, delectable. You see it?
Eat it up.
Eat it up. Today, we talked about macronutrients. What are macros? How do you build a plate surrounding your macros? Where do you find information on your macros? Guys, it's right here. Hit that link in the description below. Tap in with Sarah on Instagram. Tap in with me on Instagram. And please share this video with somebody who you know needs some information on macronutrients, who's just starting their fitness journey. And go ahead, tap in.
Your
Yeah,
parents with their keto diet, share with them.
there you have it. Share it with them, whoever, your parents, grandmother, sisters, cousins, aunties, nieces, and nephews. Share
Etc. Sorry.
it. Yeah, I love it. No, please keep chiming in. Thank you guys again, and we love you. We'll see you next week. Eat it. Peace. Ah, all right.